Oh, hello and welcome back to Crash Games. I setting up the game here and I did a few changes. I went ahead and added a few mods, built-in repair system to help build up this stuff so that I'm not spending all my time just welding all this up. And then I also added some NPC modular encounters and a few other mods to just add stuff into the game. So a few new blocks and things like that. So what we're going to go ahead and do here is we're going to go ahead and get our stuff set up here. We're going to go ahead and finish up these pipes, and then I'm going to build a build-in repair system on this platform that we have to help build up things. And we're going to work on a new miner. This one's going to be basically a vertical up and down miner, so that we can go down there where we've found some of these ores, and we can have drone miners go out and collect that for us. We're also going to change the engines out on this ship so that instead of having the vector thrust system, we'll be using an actual proper thrusting system. And then we'll go ahead and put the drills back on the front just to use this ship as a mining ship. And I'm thinking I'm going to change out this cockpit. One of the mods that I put on actually has a, well, better, more usable cockpit for stuff, as it'll have active working LCDs inside the cockpit itself that we can program or we can configure for different things. So we're going to go ahead and get that going. But first, let's go ahead and finish up this piping system. We'll get that set up to go collect probably some ice down there, because I don't think it's going to be good enough to go into collecting things like venom and that. And we're going to need the ice to keep this guy going, as will burn through it pretty quick. So let's go ahead and get that going. Let's see what we need here first. I think all these basically need all the components, right? Oh, just needs construction, tier plates, construction. Does that need motors too? Whoop, I forgot which one I was on. It's right around here. Okay, it doesn't look like we need motors, and it looks like interior plates, construction components, and small steel tubes. A lot of them. So hopefully we have enough iron to do this. I'm going to go ahead and check. Alright, and to get this down there to collect ice, I'm going to need some way to stay on this while we're flying it. So let's do this. I'm going to put a seat on here. Where are the passenger seats? There they are. There's need interior plates and construction components. So 20 interior plates and 20. Again, that'll allow us to fly this and use it for mining. The other thing I want to do, I think, is I want to put a text panel right here so we can configure the path auto miner script. I think that'll work. Oh yeah. Alright, there we go. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And see, that transport courier is one of those ships that's part of the new AI mod. So we're going to have pirate ships flying all over the place. And hopefully we'll get a ship going to bring some of those down here in a little bit. So that's going to be a thing. Actually, I might make that other vessel a combat vessel. So the other thing we need to do is connect to our remote control here. And we're going to put some commands for the Where is our programming block? There it is. I'll show that on the toolbar. Actually, we don't want to put it there, we want to put it here. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and record our home path from here to the ice lake. So the reason we needed that seed is because we're going to get out of antenna range pretty freaking quick here. So I want to make sure that we can actually fly to where we need to go, maintain connection to the ship. So that's exactly what we're doing here. And for this path, we want to make sure we're well clear of hitting anything. So start slowing down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use those large engines to help buffer our speed down. Alright. From here, we're going to go ahead and go down just a little bit, not too much, to make sure we have enough, because we're not going to have to go all the way down. I want to make sure we have enough lift thrust to pull back out. So we got to figure out a good angle for this as well, because if we get too steep of an angle, we're not going to get much ISO per run. So I think that's a good angle. We're going to go ahead and stop recording our path. And now I'm going to set up a mining job. And that looks like a good setup. I'm going to go ahead and stop this. And we're going to send it back here. So what it should do is fly us back to the station, and then after it gets back to the station, we'll go ahead and tell it go back and do its business without us. So this is really the awesome power of drones. I don't have to be sitting there doing all that. So, but from the disconnect from that, okay, let's see, we want to go up and apply that. Right now she should go do her mining business. What's she doing right now? Charging batteries. Okay, so she's going to get a full charge, and then she's going to go ahead and take off on us. So that's exactly what we want. Now for this, since we're going to be getting a few more drones, a few more pirates, we definitely want to get this to a ability to be a mining ship. But before we do that, we want to get those tubes done. So we're going to have to find some magnesium so we can make some rounds for weapons and stuff. Let's go ahead and pull out this stuff here. We're going to need these as well, which is why I made them. We're probably going to need about 100 more of those. Alright. There we go, this will work better. Alright, well that's workable, but it needs 10 more construction components. There we go, that's complete. Alright. So for our next step, we're going to go ahead and put those back in. And there we go. Alright, so that's completed. So now that drone will be collecting ice for us and bringing it back to keep our station fueled. It's rather important in this case. Alright. And now, what should I prioritize next? Should I do the build and repair system, or should I do the set that up as a miner? I think setting that up as a miner is going to be a bigger priority right now. Just because if we can't get the ore, it's not going to do much good to be building things. Need some atmospherics, large ones, winding down. Alright, what I'm going to put here, instead of the original light armor blocks that I had, I'm going to put some blast blocks. That'll help protect this from damage from the thrusters when those are actually built up. The reason I'm going to be using large thrusters here is I'm actually going to put some forward-facing large thrusters as well, so that they can help with lifting the ship when it's after we mine, and also, which we're going to need to put one more out. I think that'll do it. So, see if that's enough. So we can almost go vertical with this thing, hopefully, and be able to still okay, there we go. So we're going to do that, and then back here we're going to do some similar, but I think I'll have these one more in. Oh, no, can't do that. Alright. That's because, so we're going to do this, and actually, I got an idea for back here. What we're going to do is we're going to do this, because 6 small thrusters equal 1 large thruster. So if we did, just for design purposes, if we did something like this, then I'm interested, but it would take me quite a bit of thrust, and I'd probably get shot down. Alright, so that would equate to basically one large thruster facing backwards. So what'll happen is I'll leave these here with the vector thrust script, so that'll help with our left and right, as well as if we go fully vertical, it can help push us back down to horizontal. So that's what I'm hoping for that. Now we're going to have to take this stuff off, probably redesign this whole front end. I think that landing gear is going to be able to sit there, and we're probably going to want to move it forward anyhow. So. Alright, so now what I'm going to do here is we're going to go ahead and put a Alright, and for this, I believe this has a large. We're going to look at the back of this. Yep. Oh, okay. I think it'll hook up just fine right there. But I'm going to move it forward one block instead. So to do that, we're going to do this. Okay. That should get it out from under the solar panel. Actually, I don't think that's going to matter, so... Okay, so we just need 5 middle grids for that. Alright, what do we need for this? We're going to need metal grids and motors. Don't surprise me. Everything. Yep, alright. Lots of metal grids, lots of motors, lots of everything. We got some motors there. Motors there, construction components. Go ahead and get started on metal grids. See how that works. Hopefully this doesn't max out our batteries either. Wow, that ate up all those motors in no time. Which I guess is what I should have expected. I mean, 90 motors per thing, that's quite a bit for the large engines. But they're very necessary. So displays as well. Metal grid, large steel tubes, displays, and boatload of motors. There's that. I forgot the large steel tubes. Yep, large steel tubes, so. And any motors that are left. Grab all the motors. We're going to need more large steel tubes. Alright. As you can see, she's taken shape, and I'm not finishing some blocks just because there's no real need to. Oh, didn't have enough. Alright. We're done. Alright, it's just starting to pop out motors, so we're going to go ahead and grab those. I think we're done, or I mean, large steel tubes. I think we're done with everything else, so I think that's all we need. Get this thing operational. Now witness the firepower of this fully functional, armed, and operational battle station. Oh wait, this isn't a battle station. Oh, that one fell really close. How close was it? Well, actually, I guess not as close as I thought it was. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and put our control panels back in. Or programming blocks, that's what they are. Now the question is, if I put these in here, right there, are they going to be reachable by the grinder? It doesn't look like it. There we go. Alright. And we are good for those. Alright. So I think we got everything done that we needed to get done on this. So now let's just hop in here. And we're going to go ahead and do the... We're still going to need the... We're going to need the vector thrust because we're going to need that for the rear. Okay. do it. Okay, and hopefully we have enough batteries to keep her charged here. I'm almost wanting one more program block just for inventory management. Do we got enough room over here? Oh, we got plenty of room to put that in. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put that in as well. And the third programming block here, I'm going to put in a automatic LCDs too. I can't remember who makes it, but it's a great script for just having information display on LCDs. So the only one we're actually gonna do edit, browse. Okay, that one's looking like it's still good. So then we're going to do CD. I think if I remember right, you just put LCD in the name. That'll allow it to display information. And then we're going to go to this. And I think that's right if I remember right. Actually, I think I got that wrong for the vector thrust. Let's see here. Edit. Let's see here. It is looking for percent vector LCD. Okay. Close that. Alright, so that'll tell us our vector thrust state, which currently is not thrusting. Okay. So, alright, now for our center panel, we're going to want custom data, and we're going to want to set up for all cargo. And then I think those are the ones that we want to do. I think that's how you set that up. I can't remember. I may have to look that up later. Oh, but it looks like it is displaying what I wanted it to display. So have batteries, input, output, and cargo. Okay, and we shouldn't have a whole lot because it's just for, should be just for the ship. Right, and then for the left panel, we're going to want to have I think it's inventory X displays only inventory that we currently have. So, all right, and then one other thing, some other things I wanted to do is I want to be able to, well, ditch any stone we collect. So what I'm gonna do is I actually put on a stone duster mod. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go ahead and if I can get in here, right? I don't want to be cutting into the engine. Oh, I'm still gonna cut into the engine there. Alright, well, let's see if we can do this. So I want... What this will do is basically this will get rid of the stone, it won't eject it, so... I want to put a sorter before it so that making sure I'm only sorting stone in there. We're going to put 2 of those on, and we're going to put 2 of those on as well. Okay. Should help. I think we had... There we go. Hear it. There it is. Hold on, let's go check that out. All your parts belong to us. Kinda glad it's daylight out right now, so... Actually, why am I burning up energy with my flashlight on? Ooh, super cripplings. You definitely want to avoid those things. Those are bad business. Alright. And so our next order of business here is figuring out how we're going to slap drills on the front of this thing. So... Oh, I almost forgot. I was going to put those in first, so... Alright, looks good there. Oh, I don't want to do that. Okay, so we got those set up. Now we're going to do some conveyor setups here. Oh, I think we have enough in our inventory to actually possibly do everything. So, we want everything. Basically, we're going to use the cockpit as a filtering system, where everything just kind of goes into the cockpit and goes from there. So 7. Alright, and we're going to need lower drills and upper drills. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this. going to actually set, because that'll be one for the drill, one there, and then, alright, so. I think that'll work. Let's try it out. See how that works. Because we need enough space to cover the thruster but not block the thrust. So I believe that'll work. Then we'll do up. Again, the idea is to I'm terrible at this, but it's fun to do. So let's see here. So we could probably put a thruster there. Now the question is, do I want to put it there or do I want to put it one higher? Well, let's try it there. So what we do here is we're going to do this. We're going to put that one forward. And then so that'll be basically the end of the run right there. And hopefully we're not burning off our drills as we're drilling or flying. So that'll give us a good view from there, and we can do Alright, I think that'll work for design wise, so we're going to go ahead and cut these drills down, which is why I didn't build anything up yet. And we're going to go ahead and start grinding that up, or holding that up, so. Need motors. Let's go grab a bunch of motors. Did I just grab motors? What did I grab? Oh, I grabbed batteries. You don't need those, we need motors. Okay. Alright, there we go. Okay. Oh, and bulletproof glass. That's right. I have a few of those. Oh, I don't need 100. I only need about, say, at most 10. Oh, and I'm going to have to slap navigation lights on this thing, ain't I? Large steel tubes and construction components are going to be what's needed there. So. we're going to go ahead and oh, we need a lot of construction components for this, don't we? Oh, we need to build a whole bunch of those. So yeah, this is a lot of, you can tell ALF is basically getting a nice remodel here where he's going to be very usable. And the problem with modded blocks is if you use them and you get into a world where those blocks don't exist, it will, well, basically not be good. So sometimes you kind of want to plan your design strategy around thinking that those blocks may not be there. So in this case, building something like this, if the cockpit doesn't exist in another world, then I can just slap a different cockpit in there, such as a, one of the vanilla ones, or if they have another modded cockpit that's the same length as this one, I can slap a modded cockpit in there. So, or I can put in a regular cockpit and then use the additional space for other things. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to do this. This is just design stuff here, just to kind of give it a little bit more of a tweaking. So, alright, and there we go. So let's turn that off and turn this one on. Yeah, see, we're losing power pretty easily there, so we're probably not getting enough. You see, this hydrogen engine is not really about putting a full amount it could be. Why is that? Got plenty of O2. So we should be able to put out the full 5 megawatts, but it's not, for whatever reason. Instead, it's relying a lot more on the solar and wind power. That is interesting. I don't know, it's not making sense to me. Oh, geez, I almost walked off the edge there. I don't know what's going on with that, but I guess we'll have to figure that out later, so. I'm hoping the way I have this set up that there's enough room between these drills that the engine is not blasting them. If it is, we might have to move this one more out to get out of the blast of the engines. Because those are going to eat up those drills pretty freaking quick if they are hitting them. So Margins are no joke. They have like a five block radius, I think, of blast from the end of the thing. So it's flying overhead now. Another transport courier. Those ones might be worth taking down. So. Alright, and get down here. Need computers. So we're going to do our final couple here, and then we'll go grab some more. Oh, and probably need an ore detector, don't we? That would most likely come in handy. Because I think I cut the one off of this. We'll slap another one of those in as well. Oh, we need more construction components. Just not enough of anything, huh? And a lot of times I just don't know what to talk about on these, when I'm doing these videos. And I do feel like I'm kind of babbling and rambling. Because I'm not really talking to anybody in particular. I am talking to you guys, of course. And I do like, to hear what you guys think, ideas you may have. I'm thinking of building a rather elaborate launch structure we built this ship horizontally on, and then it uses a series of rotors to angle it straight upwards, and after it's straight up, we can launch it into space that way. So, and why? Just because, well, what's the fun of doing something if you don't over-engineer it, right? Especially in this game. So let's see here now. I want an ore detector for a small ship, and we're going to go ahead and go grab the pieces for that. And you know what? We're going to slap that right there. That looks like the best place for it. Right between the drills. Okay. And I think she's going to work this way. So we just need to do a few setups in the cockpit. And that's going to be the hard part, is getting into the cockpit. And what I like about this one is the glass actually lifts out of the way, and then you can get in. So, and if we turn all our HUD stuff off, check that out. You can see our battery power, we can see everything. So our batteries are fully charged, so we don't have to worry about those. We don't have an active antenna, I don't think. You can see our altitude, our engines, everything. So what I'm going to do then is we're going to set these sorters to go ahead and just collect stone. And what they're going to do is they're basically going to collect stone and throw it out. But we don't want to set drain all, because if we set drain all, what'll happen is it'll start pulling stone out of the base and just destroying it. So we're going to set those to a group of stone sorters. And so what we can do is we can set that to drain all when we want, or turn them off and on. we're going to take them and not show them on the toolbar or anything like that because we don't need that. And then stone. These are going to be our stone dusters. So what those are going to do is that's just going to destroy the stone when it gets after it gets sucked into the sorters. So alright, there we go. We can hide those as well. And really, we don't have to do anything with the stone sorters. We can turn off the sorters. And now if we turn the dusters, we can have those. Now, I thought they had the ability to... Nope, okay. So what'll happen is when we start sucking in stone into the sorters, which now we can turn those to drain all on. And so when the sorters start sucking stone into them, the dusters will just make it disappear. So that's kind of the idea. So we just turn off and on the stone sorters. So what we want to do now is we want to, of course, set up our bar. So we're going to set up our vector thrust here to run in standby. I don't think it's a capital S, I think it's lowercase. Okay. Alright. So what that should help us do is that should help us with the back thrusters. We're going to do a little bit of a test here before we get any further. So if we, right now we should be, if we hit 8, okay, it went to standby, turn it on, thrusters are on. Alright. Okay, I think what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to use some more gyroscopes as well. As you see, even when we go down, those thrusters in the back will go ahead and flip upside down and give us a little boost down, which is good and bad because boosting down can help us, it can also hurt us. So. There we go. Okay. Alright, we're going to put that in standby. Alright, there we go. That does work, so that's it's kind of what I was planning. That way we don't need left and right thrusters. But the thing I do notice is that our turning capability is, well, if we're not moving, it kind of sucks. So I want to kind of fix that. So I'm thinking I'm going to add a couple more gyroscopes, and I'm thinking right there it looks like good spots. So what we're going to do is we're just going to plop one in there. There. That should give us 3 gyroscopes to do what gyroscopes do. That's because we want a little extra turning power for when we have a full cargo in. Alright. Oh, she's done, huh? Oh no, she's too heavy and unloading. Oh, that's what we never did. We didn't set a drain to pull things out of there. So what we should do is instead of having it this way, let's go ahead and grab the parts for this. Need 10 interior plates and one more computer. So alright, we're just going to put the alright, there we go. Alright, I know I'm a little bit over the time that I normally do these videos in, so, but you know, I want to see if that miner works, and that sorter, no, rather than do it that way, we'll do it this way. I'm going to waste a little bit of hydrogen to get up here, and we're going to go ahead and just have it suck everything out of that ship. There we go. Ah, perfect. Alright. Alright, then we're just going to name all these. Alright, now if I'm correct on how this works, we should be select all these. Don't need to see them. I'm not going to be using the drills individually. Alright, so we got all that set up. So final thing is, okay, we need to set up the tools and set up drills here, and then groups, we're going to go ahead and take the drills, put them here, and this we're just going to turn them on and off. And then our stone sorters, we're going to go ahead and set that there and toggle those on and off as well, so when we are mining, our stone sorters can get rid of the stone for us. Alright, so if I'm right, let's go ahead and test this out. I'm going to go down to where we get our iron and cobalt and stuff, and we're going to go ahead and... Oh, I never turned that on. So 8. There we go. Alright, that stopped our drifting, which is good. That's what I wanted it to do. Ooh, hunchback dropship. Those things are deadly too. So hopefully he doesn't take notice of us and decide to come give us a bad day. So, but we need our ore mine here. We're gonna go grab some more. Now, since we're going to mine, we'll just go ahead and turn that to a thing, and we'll make sure that our drills are selected. And here we go. Oh, that's one thing I forgot. Oh, we already had an ore detector. Well, the only problem I have is I would like it if, say, if we had ore detectors, like if you had multiple ore detectors, it would actually extend the range by the range of the second ore detector. Because then we could, you know, pick up ore when it's a little bit farther out by just adding ore detectors. Take up more space, so it would have a cost count too. Alright. Okay, and I got this design right, then we right click, should just click a whole bunch of this stuff. If we left click now, we're starting to see things appear down there. should be clearing enough for us to actually just fly right in. So. Alright, and you can see that's how to build a drill ship for atmosphere. See, if I'm right, we should be able to go full vertical without any issues, and even with some cargo. Now we only have 27% of our cargo filled up, roughly, a little bit more, but she's working, so I'm going to go ahead and get back to base, and then we'll go ahead and close out this episode. We are kind of maxing out our power, so that's not a good thing, but it's not necessarily terrible either. So as far as gaining speed, we get a good gain speed, but we even got an awesome braking. So, and I always think it's better to have more braking thrust than forward thrust, unless you're building a fighter, in which case, well, forward thrust would be the thing, because you want to be able to push yourself out of the way, and you don't want to stop too quick. So for most other ships, I prefer a better braking thrust. So there we go. And put the back thrusters in standby and lock her down. Alright. Well, everybody, thank you for watching. As you see, ALF got a serious makeover, and she's flying great, and she does what we need her to do. So, next thing, we're going to have to find some magnesium, because we're going to have to start getting some weapons, because we're having pirate ships start to show up overhead. Well, again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.